For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone. We keep talking ACU football 2018. Our preview continues with offensive coordinator Josh Lamberson. Josh, as you begin to put the finishing touches on Fall Camp 2018, your feeling about this offense overall is what?
Well, I think we've grown a lot, and we still have some room to grow. I think we're still trying to find a solid 22 as far as our two deep goes, and that's great. That we've developed competition throughout our entire lineup, and that was one of our goals coming into the year was to foster that competition at each position, and that's something that we've done. And so that's not all the way finalized yet, and heading into Baylor week this coming week, it will be. But right now with the last couple days of fall camp, still have some great competition within our position groups.
Obviously, Luke Anthony is QB1. As you look at the way he has managed now his first fall camp as the starting quarterback, how would you rate his performance so far?
I think Luke's done a great job, both on and off the field from a maturity standpoint, from a football IQ standpoint, from a leadership standpoint. He's still growing, and like I said in some previous interviews, sometimes I have to remind myself that he's just going to be a sophomore. Yeah. He carries himself in a very mature fashion, and so sometimes the mistakes that he makes, I sit there and scratch my head, and I'm like, well, no, hold on, he's
two starts.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's a compliment to Luke, in the way that he prepares and he wants to come out and be great every single day, and I think that attitude is infectious, and so really excited about his progress and where he's gone. Excited to work with him and continue to help him grow.
You'd love if he took every snap this year, except for maybe bringing in a backup to take some kneel downs at the end of the game. That'd be fun too. But a lot of folks around West Texas were excited when Semaj Davis signed with ACU, and now he's getting some reps. Give us an update on how Semaj's done.
He's done a great job. Coming into camp, we weren't sure from a volume perspective what we were going to be able to give Semaj, and he's done a great job of really just kind of growing in his role, and not trying to take on too much, but being really good at what we ask him to do, and kind of fit his niche. And he's a very dynamic athlete with a very good arm. I think he's learning how to be a quarterback, and that's something that we're going to continue to foster. But excited about his progress and where he's going.
When you have that weapon that he has with his legs, it is a challenge sometimes to say, hang in there, isn't it?
Right, and you don't ever want to take that away from an athletic quarterback. That was one of the things I was mic'd up the other day, and that was on one of Seth's deal. God blessed him with great athletic ability and to use those legs. And so, when things get a little bit hairy in the pocket, that's just one of those attributes that he can have, and he has a very strong arm as well. And so we're just trying to mix and match everything together to make him the best that he can be.
A lot of folks have been excited about the running back battle. Yeah. Tracy James comes back with more than 600 yards gained last year, splitting time with DeAndre Brown last year. But you also brought in some guys you really like. What have you seen from the back?
Yeah, it went from a spot last year where we really struggled with depth to one of our deepest positions, honestly. And so Tracy James, Billy McCrary, Tyrese White, Robert McKnight, those guys have done a great job of really taking on that position and helping each other out. And it's a competition to get on the field because most of the time there's only one running back at a time that's out there, but those guys have really helped each other out and grown into the role that what we're asking them to do.
Quick thought about the receivers?
They're continue to grow. I didn't really realize this, but we lost a lot of our receiver production from last year, and I go back and I look at the stats and I look at what we have coming back. But excited about this group. I think they're hungry. They play with a chip on their shoulders with something to prove, and I think I'm excited for those guys to get out there and show the world what they can do.
And lastly, offensive line and tight ends. A few of them have been dinged up. I know fullbacks, tight ends, health-wise going into Baylor.
I think everybody will be okay when we get to that point. We have been a little dinged up in our last scrimmage, but I think it's more precautionary more than anything else for those guys not to be participating right now. I think I'll be remiss to say if I didn't say anything about our offensive line. Those guys have come light years from where they were last year at this time. Just from a continuity perspective, but also from a skill set, technique, management. Coach Mario's done a fantastic job with those guys, and they've really developed an identity, and that's been really exciting to see.
Well, they've had to if they're going to do what you've said that Coach Dorrell wants this team to be about, and that starts in the trenches. Last thing, big picture here. Your first year in the league was last year. What did you witness from defenses around the Southland Conference that you're going to be facing now this season?
Well, I think more than anything, the thing that stood out to me was just the athleticism that was in this conference. I knew the back end, and there were going to be some athletic linebackers. There's really athletic freaky athletic people all over the field. And that's a fun challenge to have, and because we've got some good athletes here as well to kind of mix and match and to try to put my pieces here against this piece there, and so that's been a lot of fun for us to sit back and see how the league has really unfolded, coming into this year and what we have, and we're excited to get into conference play after these first 2 games and see what we can do.
All right, the offense, a lot expected of them, some fun new pieces and some fun faces back after a year away. Coach Josh Lamberson, the offensive coordinator. Our preview of ACU football continues on ACUsports.com.